you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Welcome back to the Throne of the Dragon podcast, the show that covers each and every episode of HBO's House of the Dragon. I am Josh of House Greyjoy, and with me, as always, is my somewhat less than savory bannerman from House Harlaw, Curtis of House Harlaw. How you doing,
Howdy,
buddy?
neighbor. Hey, how's it going, neighbor?
Good neighbor. How's it going over
Good
there?
neighbor. Good neighbor. How's it going, neighbor? Yeah. What's going
I
on,
can't
buddy?
imagine the Greyjoys treating each other this way. I don't think Iron Men are just waving across the fence to each other.
Hello. We're turning over a new
Just
leaf.
from one island to another.
Hi. Yeah.
Well, we are fresh off of the season 2 finale. And I have a lot of mixed feelings
Hmm.
about the season finale. I didn't necessarily on the season as a whole until we got to this last episode.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't want to start tearing this thing down from the beginning because
Perfect to the studs.
overall, I do want to say that this season has been great storytelling. I know a lot of people have hated the stuff at Harrenhal. I've really enjoyed it. I've really not felt like there's been anything wrong with that.
It grew on me.
Um, yeah. And so, and it, for the show's purposes, it brings Damon around to ultimately, I think, just being a better person.
Yeah. It led to
Um,
something.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't get everything that I wanted from this episode. There were a lot of cool things, and it is hard, I think, for me to detach myself and say, just appreciate it for the show's version of things.
Hmm.
But I had hoped that we might not get so far away with Condell being such a big fan, and I feel like we're straying on a lot of this stuff. And I was brought back to my feelings from season 1, where when they first introduced the Song of Ice and Fire
Yeah.
prophecy,
Yeah.
they brought back the dagger, and initially I did not feel good about that.
Uh,
Because I don't know, there's just something that feels kind of tacky about attaching it to this other property when there's nothing that let's go, we'll break down the episode here, but let's talk about Damon in front of um the Weirwood.
hmm.
All of that stuff, like none of that is in the book. So it just feel like I get why they have been harping on this layer of Rhaenyra and or Viserys and Rhaenyra, and why Daemon now all feel like they have this calling to be the one to sit the throne and bring peace to the realm when the long night comes again.
Right.
But I just, I don't know, man. It is really hard to detach myself just knowing, you know, what we know from the text. It's really hard to just look at this and appreciate it as like their telling of things. Yeah, it's tough. And I didn't like I didn't like the depiction of Bloodraven
No.
in that vision. Didn't care for that. Um, I always pictured him, and I thought it had said that it was like over his eye. Like I thought it was supposed to be more of like kind of an eye mark, but maybe it was just supposed to be on his cheek. I don't remember, but I don't know. There were just a lot of little things when it comes to that
Right.
that kind of bothered me, like him seeing the dragons reborn with Danny. Um, and it's hard to speculate too much on that later stuff because we're so far behind in the book, and I can't trust anything the show gave me.
Right.
So,
Well,
but
and we
yeah,
know too that in Game of Thrones, the book version hasn't even the story hasn't even finished. So we know that those last few seasons were kind of, yeah, there's some pointers being given from George, but at the same time, they kind of did their own thing. Yes, we all kind of know where this thing is kind of leading in general, but it's this is more of a power move from the show side to connect the Game of Thrones universe, the Westeros, the Planetos universe,
right.
um, and you and I, let's go to our other podcast, our history of the chorus, where we talk about music. We enjoy connection in lyrics and stories, and from one CD to another. We enjoy that, right? We enjoy the connection. We like to see the yarn connect from here to there, and that's cool sometimes in this stuff. But this just feels like you're kind of saying tacky. To me, it just kind of feels cheesy. There's times where, yeah, you can do that. And there's other times it's like, you really don't have to do that. And I personally feel like you don't really have to do that here, And so when that part happened, I was like, I know it's about to happen. And it happened. And I was like, why? You know?
Yeah, the one thing that I did like about that whole sequence was Helena talking to him through the network. I did really like that
Yeah.
because, there's always been speculation like, is she tapped into that? Like, she has these visions, like, she can see things that are going to happen or that have happened. So, yeah, I thought that was actually done really well. But yeah, there's just a bunch of little things through there that I wasn't a big fan of. And I didn't really like how in the ending montage, at the end of the episode, how a lot of that stuff I feel like was sold to us in the trailer as like, this is the meat of this season,
Yeah.
like this season is starting, the armies are marching to war, like it's on.
Yeah.
And it feels like we spent a whole season, which ended up only being 8 episodes, with this really slow storytelling that we had in the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. It's like, okay, well, yeah, we had so much room to go, but we're only going to have like 4 seasons here if
Right.
this goes all the way.
We're running
So,
out of tarmac here, you
yeah,
know?
I feel like we don't really have the luxury of an episode where not much happens.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we only get one full battle plus a teaser battle of basically an aftermath in the Blackens and the Blackwoods and the Brackens. Yeah. But
The
and
Blackens
that
and the
was
Brackwoods.
yeah, exactly. That was one of the problems that I had because it's like I'm kind of looking at the timer too as it's going towards the end, and I'm like, crap, we're not gonna have time for what I thought it was gonna end at, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you're gonna do this to me. You're really, really gonna do this to me. And so I ended up being pretty livid about it. You know, I'm not like boiling or anything, but it's just like that whole montage is just like I'm just sitting there just shaking my head the whole time. It's like seriously, I spent 8 episodes, a full season, a full summer just watching C-SPAN basically. I mean, come on, man. You know? I mean, come
Yeah.
on, bro. So,
It it
but I will say on the other side of that is looking towards the future. I I don't want to get my hopes up, but I feel like because I think I don't know too much. You know more than me, obviously, but I feel like where we're going to next, the gullet, the meeting here at the gullet, the battle of the gullet, is going to kind of really set a lot of battles into motion thereafter, and a lot of events after, towards the end of the dance and such. So I kind of feel like once we get to that, which they're making it look like season three will start at that, then season three will have a lot of things going on at once instead of what we had in this of more of just kind of a build up to season three. You know,
right.
I hope I'm not wrong because I can't take another. I don't even think I can take another episode. I need some bloodshed.
Yeah, I
You
mean
know,
the way this was set up, it does feel like season three is just going to be pretty non-stop.
yeah,
And I hope that's the way it is, but like I
yeah, I
said, like
hope so.
some of the slowest episodes of Game of Thrones, those are the ones I appreciate the most. But we don't have the time luxury. If we had had another two episodes this season, it's like, yeah, we've got the room to kind of slowball this thing,
Right.
but we just really didn't have it. And but okay, we've we've talked a lot about some things that we didn't really like from the episode, but there were a lot of things that I felt like were good about it too. It was not a complete bomb for me,
Oh no, no, no.
but I kind of, I thought the same thing as you, not the gullet necessarily. I had a different thought on where we might possibly end the season. And I had thought that in like episode 4 or 5. So, and obviously not a ton happened to move it along over the next few episodes. So, mine kind of got blown out of the water there, but
So the one that you're thinking of though, is it, did we ever get to it or is it still to come?
it's still coming.
Okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. It'll be a little further down the line.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um, how'd you feel about this whole Thailand and the
Oh my
triarchy
God. My
nonsense? I mean, it was good
God.
for some comic relief for the episode for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, that's one of those where it's like they just kept showing it. I'm like, ugh. I think the worst one though, I'm not trying to move away from it, but the worst scenes that they showed was Rayla just running through the veil. It's like, ugh,
I I kept
okay.
thinking
Little
every time they
transition scene.
showed like one of them, because there was 3 or 4 times that they did it.
Yeah.
And it's literally like a 5 second clip,
Right. It's just a
just of her like
transition
she's
clip,
still
basically.
looking,
Yeah, she's
still
still
out
looking.
there.
Still out there,
Oh
man.
my
Oh,
God.
now she's
Okay.
sleeping. Now she's running again. Now she's drinking. Yeah, hey, man, pretty boy Lannister, man.
A lot
That's
of a lot of
I
jumping
will
around.
yeah, I will say did you have on your bingo card a mud wrestling match? Because I didn't. I did
No,
not.
but I mean I saw it in one of it
That's
might have
true. I
even
think it was
been
the
the
last
original
episode. It was the
Yeah.
original?
Well, it might have been in like the original trailer too. I feel like I've seen it a
Oh,
few times, like of him getting slammed on his back in the
uh,
mud, like just
yeah.
that. Um, so I feel like I saw that a few times, but
Okay. I just
yeah, I
remember
don't, I,
from the last preview off the end of the last episode. But
yeah, I thought it was
yeah,
definitely good for some comic
comedic
relief.
relief.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well, we
there's a
get to
bunch of
see a
serious
Lannister
stuff
get
going on.
tortured, basically. So,
Right. Well, it's just and the twins are so different. If this had been
right.
Jason, he
Oh,
would have just
more
gone right
stern.
along with it all. He would have been, super over the top about it, but it's Tylen and he's the more timid one
Mhm.
and very awkward. I like when he sings the song and
Oh,
then
God.
nobody cheers. He's just
Ugh.
like, all right, until
Yeah.
what's her face? What is her face? Or what is her face? What is her name?
uh, I just had it pulled up and I've already
It's like
forgotten it. Laura or something like that. Lorna.
Laurel.
Let's see. I just had it up here.
Yeah, I do not remember.
Um, where's it at? Oh my gosh, seriously, where is it at? It's right. Oh, Shirako Lohar. That may not be how you say it, but
Lohar. Yeah,
Lohar.
they're just calling her Lohar.
Admiral Lohar. Yeah.
Um. Okay, so when Orwell is with Aegon and then Laris comes in, did you catch the part there where um Laris was listing off like all the things that he would be called? He's trying to get him
Mhm.
to leave the
The
city and then
Rebuilder.
they'll come back when the time's right.
Mhm. Yep.
And yeah, all the possible things that they call him, the rebuilder.
Trying to remember. Yeah, I was trying to remember some of the different ones that he
Yeah,
said.
I don't remember the other two. And then Aegon said the realm's delight. And I thought that was really interesting because that's what they called Rhaenyra.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the Where Realms Delight. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. If in some way he wanted people to view him like that, like they viewed her.
Aegon the Victorious, Rebuilder. Let's see if there was another one. I thought there was another one, maybe. Victorious risen from the ashes. Peacemaker. That's what it was.
Peacemaker. Yep.
Yeah, the Peacemaker, the Rebuilder, and then he says the Realm's Delight. Oh my God. That contrast between his one good eye and his bad eye. It's just like one slumped down, the other one's just like wide open, just looking around. Eh.
I
Oh man.
think I asked you last week what your read on Ulf and Hugh has been.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're just gonna pass over what Aegon said about his penis exploding.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
Uh,
was gonna try to
the
forget that
way
terrible
the
imagery.
way, the way you describe it, I'm just shaking my head, man. I'm sorry. Yeah,
That dude,
what's
that's two. Okay, that's two things now in the episode that have made me think of different South Parks. One of them is the one that's actually about Game of Thrones, where we are talking about, this whole season we thought was supposed to be the army's already marching,
yeah.
everything being set in motion. And then you get to the end of the season, it was like, well, when's it coming? It's like, oh, they're coming. The
They're
dragons
coming.
are still coming. And then the
Uh,
other one is the gluten-free episode where they figure out that gluten makes your dick explode and fly
oh
off.
my gosh. Gosh.
Yeah, when he said that, I was just like, yeah, while horrible, like, dude, what a way to describe that. And I love how Blair's is, trying to talk to him about getting away, and he's just like can't get over, like he's just in his head someplace else, and Blair's like, "We gotta get you out of here," and he's like, "Did you know that my dick exploded?" It's like, oh my God, bro.
Ah, oh, jeez.
How do you
Oh
recover
boy.
from that, the conversation? How
The
do you
I got a name to add to it. Aegon the prosthetic. How about that? Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Aegon the sausage. Uh okay, you were gonna ask me about Hugh and Ulf. What about him?
Well, I think I asked you last week kind of how you were feeling about them so far.
Well, Ulf Ulf always kind of gave like kind of a timid, and not like timid like Lannister, but I don't know. I mean, he
Like
kind of
Tylan?
shudder at, yeah,
Is that what you
he would,
meant? Like not like Tylan?
right, not like Tylan, not that timid, but I mean, he was kind of like, not really at the forefront, whereas Hugh's very, strong and he knows what he wants, so on and so forth. And I feel like Hugh's still that way now. He knows he's in the presence of the queen, so he's kind of trying to be respectful about it. Whereas Ulf is just like he's conquered what's the dragon? I already forgot the
Silverwing.
dragon. Silverwing, there you go. I keep wanting to say sea smoke. Silverwing. And his balls are huge now, man. Like he does not give a crap about who he's in the presence of, man. He has no cares at all,
Right.
you know?
It's changed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
feel like
don't
they
like
kind
it.
of swapped
I
roles a
don't
little
like him at
bit, you
all.
know?
Yeah,
Hugh
for
was just
sure.
like beating the shit out of people in the street for food, and now he's
Hmm.
like, no, we gotta act right. And
Yeah. My
then
prince, my queen.
Ulf's the one who's acting up.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Did you
and I don't know,
notice?
maybe it's
Oh,
just a
good.
testament to how that bond can change you,
Oh,
you
for
know.
sure. Yeah. Well, and think about all the times that
Plus, he's getting
he
a big
was
head about it.
in. Yeah. Well, think about all the times he was in the tavern. He's kind of talking about, oh, I'm a Targaryen, da 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 da. But it's like he kind of shudder at it. Oh no, don't talk too loud about it. I don't want them to hear about it. It might kill me or whatever. And now that it's like he's conquered this dragon, it's like, yeah, man, I am a Targaryen, bro. Come at me, come at me. Did you notice Rhaenyra's shoulder pads at the feast, the little dinner?
No.
Dude, you need to go back and look at it. They're like little metal dragons or whatever. It's pretty cool looking.
Okay.
Yeah, those are pretty cool looking.
One of my favorite things about Game of Thrones was, especially early on, the super attention to detail. Like, on little drawers, there'll be little Stark sigils and stuff. Like,
Right.
just,
Yes.
whoever takes care of the prop masters, like, very heavy attention to detail and all those little things. But yeah, there's always some cool brooch that somebody has, or like a cape clasp or something that has I think Daenerys had some that had dragons on them. Um but yeah, all the little ornaments and stuff are always very cool, and they're usually some part of their sigil.
See if I can try to send this to you. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna try to send this to you here if I can again, like I did last week.
You feel
Maybe.
like might be a problem in the future?
I don't feel it, Josh. I know too much.
Oh, you don't feel it because you know it.
I know it. Yeah, unfortunately. Um, well, even at that, it's like you can just tell because he's getting a big head about himself. He's going to be a problem one way or another, you know?
For sure. Yeah, you don't really pick up that feeling with
Oh,
Adam.
Hugh? Oh, Adam? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're
Adam.
right. You're right, Adam.
Yeah.
Alan's the older one, the older, angry,
I
bald
think I
one.
finally got it now, but I'm because I have
Yeah,
it
you
that way
did.
in my
Yeah.
notes, but
Yeah. I just sent you that photo, by the way.
whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Extreme close up. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's pretty dark though.
Yeah, I was trying to
Okay, they're
brighten
like
my
dragon
computer up, but
heads.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Yes, I noticed something and he didn't.
Man, I do favor the Valyrian steel crown though. I don't really like Jaehaerys's crown very
No, I
much.
don't.
Eh.
No. Okay, you brought up Adam for a second there. Let's talk about Adam and Alan. Is it just me, or do you feel like you're on an episode of Dr. Phil with Corliss and his bastards?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I
seriously. Now,
I don't know
Alan, how
why.
does that make you feel?
You know how in like a show they force a miscommunication, and without that miscommunication, there's like no story
Story. Yeah.
really, you know what I mean? Like, whereas if somebody had just said something differently, it would have clearly explained everything and there wouldn't have been a misconception or anything.
Hmm.
If Corliss just said to them, "Hey guys, I fucked up.
Right.
Like, I realized like I wasn't there for you. I don't even know how much I could really be here for you now and how much it would really matter for you. But I'm sorry, and I want you guys to get what you deserve."
Right.
And now we've cleared everything up. We don't have to stammer around it and like,
Be around the
you're an
bush
old
and
man. You're
you're
an
a
old
grown
man.
man.
You got to be able
Yeah.
to accept these things and talk through them because that is he could clear all this up with both of them just by admitting he was wrong and doing right by them and
Right.
just, telling them that, yeah, that he wants to do right by them.
Yep. I mean, it's as simple
And
as that.
yeah,
It's not hard. It's not hard. You
yeah.
know, step
And
up,
I
be
I
a man,
definitely I
be
definitely
a
get
father.
I get their frustration,
Yeah. Oh, for
I
sure.
don't
Yeah.
feel like Corliss has a leg to stand on in this
No.
because he just needs to completely come clean with them and hopefully they can forgive him. I mean, I think Adam's gonna get over it easier than Alan is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For sure. Because Adam wants to be in his presence. He wants to be with him, whereas Alan's escaping it. We
Or
talked
at
about it
least
on,
to reap the benefits of being,
right. Yes.
you know,
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, we saw it was in the last episode or the episode before that, where it's like Alan shaving his head. He doesn't even want to look like him, man. You know? So total opposite ends there for sure.
I do want to see Adam with the or Alan with the coreless look though.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Be pretty
Definitely
sick.
would have been. Yeah.
Um, did you see did you see it coming with Alfred Broom uh tried to flip Damon?
Oh yeah.
God,
Yeah.
that
And
guy is such a cockroach, man.
did you notice what happened at the very end of the episode when Damon gets all the river lords and their men to huzzah? You see him slip away into the crowd real quick, all worried like.
Oh, I didn't even see him leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was like, oh. He knows,
Okay.
bro. He knows because it's like he already said something to Damon, so it's like, crap, he's gonna say something to her,
Okay.
you know. So yeah, he you go back and watch that. You can see him. I
Okay.
don't think it's not like a front and centered shot, but it's kind of like he's kind of over here, kind of slipping away as they're all like,
Okay.
huzzah,
I'm glad.
huzzah.
Okay, I'm glad they did that.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh shoot, there he goes. Get him. Yeah.
I can't believe. I kind of can't believe Damon let him go.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably, probably will. But yeah, I'm honestly not surprised because he was one of the ones that was very loud and boisterous at the meetings back at Dragonstone of, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like the strategy that you're taking here, Rhaenyra. We need to go on the attack. We need we need a man, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by that at all. But
Um, did you think there was any chance that Aemon was going to be able to get Helena out there?
no, I didn't think so. Did you?
No, no,
Is the chance
because
gone?
yeah. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
I don't think they're going to do anything with this. And I think it's just kind of a show of desperation,
right.
for him.
Oh yeah. I mean, I described him in this episode as a cornered dog. He's very angry and very desperate,
Yeah.
and you don't want to corner him. C sharp point, not good.
Dude,
Or sharp point. What did they ever do?
it's like,
What did
bro,
they do?
I mean,
You
it's like
know,
Allison was saying, any insult he suffers anytime he gets angry, he just rages out.
yep, he's got anger issues. He needs Dr. Phil, Josh. Maybe we can get on the episode with Corliss and his bastards. Why do you feel angry all the time?
Eamon, you can't let your anger control you.
Eamon, Eamon, look at me. Are you looking at me? I can't tell. I'm looking at you. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, what are they supposed to do? It's Vagar and horribly wounded Sunfire. And then in the montage,
so is Sunfire still alive? Because Aegon said his dragon was dead.
well, that's what he thinks.
Okay. Okay.
So I was talking about this with somebody the other day.
I mean, because that's why I was wondering too, is like how much does he really know? Because he's just been in that bed the whole time,
Yeah.
you know.
Um,
Now he's in
about
a cart.
we were talking about how, a lot of people who are just watching the show, like either think that, well, yeah, I mean, most people I had talked to that just watching the show, they think that Sunfire is dead. And it's kind of the way that Kristen Cole puts it to Allison in the episode following that one. Um, but um, he says, she asks what happened. He says that he left a group of men behind to guard the castle and the dragon. And the way he puts it is because Sunfire was long in the dying, or the dragon was long in the dying, something like that. So the way he puts it is that like it's on the way out, like so some guys are just there watching until it's over. But yeah, it's all kind of been, I don't want to get too spoilery, but they put it that way kind of for a reason. But if a dragon can eat and not have to worry about protecting itself, like it can heal.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, as far as Aegon knows, I mean, he didn't come to, I don't even think, until they were probably at least on the road. But
Hmm.
I doubt he knew anything about that.
Yeah. Speaking of dragons, we got our first look at Darren's dragon, Josh. Big
Yeah,
old blue dragon.
little tiny Tessarian, the blue.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. And okay, help me out. I thought the twins passage was going to be blocked off. The
The
big
crossing at the
bridge.
Twins?
Yeah, the crossing.
Why would it be blocked?
I thought so. Not Jaharis. Jacaerys went there
Yeah,
and he was dealing with them. Did he not strike a deal with them? I
he
thought he
did.
did.
Yeah, to
Okay,
open the gates.
to open the gates.
Yeah, because they need the crossing, because without the crossing, you got to go around for like
Oh,
hundreds of miles.
that's right. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's why
I was
the
trying to
phrase
remember what
position is
happened.
so
Yeah.
important.
Okay.
Like same thing
Right.
happens to Rob in the War of the Five Kings. Like he has to
Right.
get across there. If not, it's going to take them too far out of the way.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, that was the Winter Wolves coming through the gates there.
Oh, that was the North?
Oh yeah, you didn't see the Stark banners?
Oh, okay, okay. See, that's why I was so confused. I was like, why are they letting the greens through? What
Yeah,
are
no,
we doing?
they had the Stark banners.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back here and look again.
I know. See, this
By
is
the way,
always when we did season one last year, we had a chance to watch the episode at least two times before we would do our episodes. And so doing this right after, yeah, there's always things that one of us sees that the other one's
yeah,
like, oh, wait, what?
that's still good though, man. It's still good to do it
Oh,
this
yeah,
way.
for sure. It's just the
Okay,
difference,
yeah, I see that. Well, and I think I was stuck on the fact of the high towers marching. I was just focused on that. Of course, I didn't realize up to that point that we were on full montage mode here too. So, but
Oh, yeah.
and I guess I should have looked at all the gray beards too. I should have looked at that and the winter gear.
Yeah. And let me
Um,
be clear. I think a lot of our I guess a lot of our frustration, with a lot of things we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, probably come from a place of, damn it, the season's over.
right, yeah, and that's
Because, like that build up at the end, like, hey, here we go. All these armies are like about to converge. Everything's about to happen. Like I'm stoked as hell for next season. You know,
right, yeah.
like and there like I would say my favorite scene of the episode was probably between Gwen and Kristen Cole,
Mhm.
and how not a single person in that camp is about to do anything. Like I love how everybody, like, I mean, they're all Gwen's men, you know? Like that's the
Mhm.
thing, is Kristen Cole is out there with an army of Gwen's men.
Right,
And
yeah.
everybody knows, like at this point, and Gwen calls him out like right there too. But yeah, I love that. That Gwen is like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm struggling to find a word to describe it. Maybe like loyal. Like he's so loyal to his family that he's like, I know Kristen Cole's reputation, like he was in at the very least that tourney with him for, I think they held the tourney for Baylor when he was born.
Was that not his? Yeah, one of Otto's sons was in it. Was it him or was it another
I think that was
son?
Gwaine.
Was it Gwen? Okay,
I
that
think.
that Damon fought.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure.
yeah, okay,
Because they never show him, he's just got his
right,
helmet
yeah.
on
I
and
mean, I'm
stuff.
sure they said something about him. They're like, "Oh, it's so and so house, whatever,
Yeah. House whatever. House Hightower.
of house, whatever, of house. Who gives a crap?"
Definitely House Hightower.
Yeah. I did
Um,
not enjoy the when he was smelling the handkerchief because remember where that handkerchief came from, Josh. I was
uh,
like, ew, boob sweat.
well, about that was probably too what kind of set Gwaine off.
Right.
He was just like, oh yeah, that's Allison's favor.
Yep, that's Gwen he's fighting at the tourney.
Okay.
Don't know if it's the same actor or not because you never see his face, but
I don't think it was. I think
but
Freddie Fox's
that
was
guy,
like his first.
yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say that guy looked bigger than the guy that we have now. But I mean, this is depressed. We've gone from crazy eye Cole to completely depressed Cole Kristen Cole. He knows what his end is going to be, and he's accepting it, and he's really looking forward to that relief.
right. Well, I think he knows what his end will be,
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He
but
knows how it's going to end for him.
no,
So,
I said I think he thinks he knows how this is gonna end for him because
well,
he
I don't
thinks
think he.
it's just gonna be the dragon slaughter. It's gonna be
Oh yeah,
yeah, what he saw at
right.
um Rook's
Looks
Rest,
rest.
like
Yeah,
that's how he thinks this is gonna go down for him. But
right.
we shall see.
Who
How did you
knows?
feel about Simon Strong getting that message out to
The
Rhaenyra
snitch.
and the snitch?
Simon the snitch.
Well, I think, it's tough for Simon, other than what happened with Oscar and Willem Blackwood. I don't think Simon really knows what's going on with Damon because he knows that all these things are happening to him. And he's been there a long time. He probably knows about what this place can do to people.
Right.
And there's been a lot of times he's kind of tried to help him through it, it seems like. And but also in his head, he does not know what conclusion Damon is coming to this. He's still been very insistent on being called king, up into a certain point in this. Um, Alfred comes there to talk with him. They're talking in private. He's listening in on that. So I don't know. I liked the move because he's very loyal to the
Rhaenyra.
queen.
Right. Yeah.
When Damon came there, it seemed like he was there to raise an army for himself to put himself on the throne.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can't fault him for the move.
No, for sure. No, I can't either. How about the deja vu scene, Josh, between Alicent and Rhaenyra? Have we seen this scene before?
Dude, I was so over it. And then it made me wonder because, the book doesn't have Allison doing what she's doing right now.
Well, Alicent's character is totally different in the book than what they have here in the
Yeah.
show. She's
Yeah.
very hardened, you know?
Yeah. So my question was during all of this montage stuff at the end, It's like, so what are they doing with her? Is Allison just gonna go and wander and do her own thing? Because that's what it kind of sets it up to look like.
Oh no, she made a deal. She's gonna kill Aegon for
Did she actually agree to that? I
her.
couldn't tell if it was just like left
Sure,
unspoken.
sure, we did. Who knows? I mean, we all know she's gonna get back to the to King's Landing, and he's not there. So you
Right.
know,
Yeah, I don't know what to think about what they're gonna do with her.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
she
because
should be back in
that's
King's Landing for where things go, but
yeah. Honestly, to be honest with you, dude, watching that scene and how desperate she was getting, I honestly thought she was either going to beg for Rhaenyra to kill her or just pull out a small knife and just slit her own throat or something real quick, you know? Because
yeah,
like I was almost like, are they gonna kill her off right here, right now? Because she just seems like she's done with it, you know? She talked about earlier when she was having the conversation with Helena, and Helena's, talking about, I don't want to be a queen. I liked it before I was a queen. And Rhaenyra or Allison says the same thing. Is like, I was like, I liked it way before I was a queen too, you know? So you long for those early days of innocence. But yeah, I
the
was
crown
just
is
like,
heavy.
yeah, I was like, ugh, here we go again. I've seen this scene before. We're really gonna try to play this one again. Really?
I know. I didn't really care for it. I know they've tried to
Like it.
play up like this relationship between the two of them a lot more in the show,
Right.
but they're not even like childhood companions in the book, So I
Right.
don't know. That whole story between them kind of falls flat with me because I don't care about the stuff between
I
Rhaenyra
don't
and
care.
Allison. It's like
Yeah.
that's not what is deciding, the future here.
Mm, I agree.
Like we've gone, we talked about this when they did it, several episodes ago. We're too far past the point of the two of them talking about this and it holding any great or any great any great or wavity, any weight or gravity. Because
Gravity.
yeah, wavity.
Gravity.
Any weight or gravity because this all is now got to be decided by swords and
Hmm.
dragons. Like
Hmm.
it's too little, too late, and I don't really feel like we need to revisit that again. I feel like we're wasting precious time, Curtis.
Well, and that's
These
yeah, and
these
that's what's
scenes, they're precious, and we're wasting them.
that's yeah, that's what's frustrating of like seeing this scene play again and remembering the first time they did this with Rhaenyra in King's Landing at the at the temple. And it's like I remember after that episode ended, it was like, okay, here we go. I mean, they've established that there's no turning back, so we have to move forward with the swords and the dragons. And yeah, we got Rook's Rest out of it, you know, but it was just like it just kind of felt like we just kind of fell backwards again into the whole deal of will they or won't they move forward or not? I mean, Rhaenyra's timid again. I don't know what to do, man. It's just like,
We
oh
can still
God, you're
stop
right. It's
this.
like,
It's like, no,
yeah,
we
oh well, we
can't.
can still stop this. No, no, we already established that. We already established this.
Yeah,
We
it is
can't.
done.
So yeah. Ugh.
Are you ready to talk some more about Harrenhal?
What about it?
About the Weirwood vision.
Get a little more specific.
Did you know that they used George's face
On the tree?
for the Weirwood? Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
funny.
they like I think it's been the same for the whole season, but yeah, they
Really?
used
Like every time
like
they
his
showed.
face is a mold for the face of the heart tree.
Mm-mm. No, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up here. Put your he said, Damon, put your hand on my face.
Well, I put down what did I put? Look into the face of George and see the future, which
Eh,
I
okay.
it gave me
You had to throw some glasses on there for me to really see it, but
okay.
it would have been funny
Yeah,
if
I
they
mean,
did
they
that.
probably just made like a cast of his face
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
for
like kind
sure.
of put it down and like probably buried it more with layers of but oh, what was I saying?
I put that
Oh,
birthmark more lower on the on Bloodraven. I was
there
thinking it was more just
was
like right here, but it's more like down on his jaw.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, sidetrack.
Um it was kind of a weird parallel for me with Coheed and how um so Good Apollo on Burning brings in the writer of the whole
The
story and
narrator,
he's
yeah.
like the god figure essentially
Mhm.
and he can do anything in their world and that's kind of what this made me think of a little bit because it's
Okay.
like they used his face for it and yeah, when I put that down, like, look into the face of George and see the future. Yeah, it kind of
It's my
made me think
face.
of that, like him inserted into the world and being something that shows the future, like shows what's to come. So
Right.
I did think
Yeah.
that part was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, like that's actually kind of cool. But yeah, and one of my big problems with this whole sequence was I don't like the idea that Bloodraven can manipulate the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like show you these things that are going to happen
So you can do
so
certain
far
things or
down the
whatever.
line. I I do believe like he can manipulate things, but I mean he's not even alive at this point.
Right.
So that's the other thing. He's not alive. And if he's manipulating it from the future, then yeah, I don't like that either because we get and I don't remember if it's in the book, but we do get the line in the show that he tells Bran, the past is written, the ink is dry.
Mhm.
Like you can't you can't manipulate that, or at
Right.
least that's kind of what we're given to understand there. Um, but yeah, that was one of my problems with it. I finally get a look at Bloodraven and I felt like I was disappointed.
Now, what do you expect, Nate?
Not really, no.
Mm.
He was and he looked I'd have to go back and, go frame by frame, but didn't he look kind of young too?
Oh yeah, yeah, he was young,
Yeah, and he was
very
not
young.
young when he was sent to the wall
Mhm.
and then went on from there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if, because I've done a little bit of research family wise, and I can't remember how many seasons of Night of the Seven Kings there's supposed to be, but it'll be kind of interesting to see if you get a
Well, I
little bit
imagine
of
there's only going to
that,
be
maybe.
three,
Is there three?
one
Okay.
for each um book or short story,
Right. Because, I mean, you know this, I'm sure you do. He gets
You
escorted
know.
to, you know, he gets escorted to the wall by, um, what's his name? The knight, of the Seven Kingdoms.
Sir Duncan.
Yeah, Sir Duncan, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that he was part of the escort that took him.
What? Yeah. I read that.
Well, see, in I'm trying to think what the last one is. Because the first one's the Mystery Knight. Second one's Sworn Sword. And then, or no, the first one is the Hedge Knight. So I think the last one's the Mystery Knight. I can't remember. Um, but Egg is still a child. Like he hasn't become king yet. And I
Right, yeah.
think, yeah, he was the one I'm pretty sure who sends him to the wall because oh man, it was some stuff with the Blackfires. I want to
Okay.
say he like laid a
What
trap.
you gotta understand about the first Blackfire Rebellion is
Is
I just think about you.
that Aegon the
Um,
Fourth legitimized all his
right.
bastards on his deathbed.
Okay, here you go. When Maester Aemon sailed for the wall in 233 AC, he was escorted by King Aegon V's friend Sir Duncan the Tall of the King's Guard and accompanied by an honor guard of recruits for the Night's Watch. These were 200 men and prisoners, including Brendan Rivers. Many of the men were archers from Brendan's Raven's Teeth, according
The
to a
Raven's
semi.
teeth.
Mhm. According to a semi-canon source, Brendan took Dark Sister with him when he went to the wall. Ooh,
Yep.
yeah.
But where is
Yeah.
it, Curtis? It's
But
one of the Valyrian steel
where is
swords
it?
that we don't know where it
Where is it?
is.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of which, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms is the last thing I have. Did you watch on Hulu?
Yes.
So did you get any like did it just go straight into the episode on Hulu?
The inside the episode?
No, just the regular episode.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So on if you're watching on HBO, they had a trailer for like upcoming series, and it's just like short little teasers. And Night of the Seven Kingdoms was one of them. So we got a quick little teaser of that. That was pretty cool
They did show
to see.
something though?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, probably about I'd say 15 to 20 seconds worth. It's
Okay.
pretty good. Yeah. So you might check that out.
Who'd they show? Did they show Duncan or Egg?
And Duncan and Egg, and there's a few other people. I don't know who they were, but
Oh my God.
yeah,
I
you'll have
can't
to go
wait to
look that
watch
up,
that.
man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that after this.
You're welcome.
Boo, 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 boo.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Interesting.
how do you think this is gonna go with Rayla and Sheep Stealer? I mean, I feel
Well,
like
we've
it's
talked.
fairly obvious. They've set it up pretty big. She's not just going to
Yeah.
go over there and get roasted, you know?
Well, no, yeah, I was gonna say, based off of what you talked about, it seems like they're using her to replace another character that's not going to show up. And yeah, I think that's she's going to claim it.
Yeah.
So
Do you think we'll really get to
we'll see
see
if she
it,
gets.
or we'll just see her turn up on a
I bet
dragon?
she'll just turn up on a dragon,
Okay.
whether in a battle or a dragon stone or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see if she gets a big head like Ulf did.
Oh God, no. Rayla, no way, dude. No way.
You said it couldn't be done. You thought I wouldn't get a dragon. Well, guess who's got a dragon now?
She shows up like
Me.
what was that chick's name? Admiral Lomar or something?
Lohar.
Lohar. Yeah, she shows up like Admiral Lohar, just which one of you guys is the biggest?
Who wants to mud wrestle? Yeah,
Well, I'm sure, we'll have a lot more to discuss next week
for
because
sure. Yeah.
we're talking about our recap of the entire season. A little comparison between book and show, some things they changed up that we thought made no difference whatsoever, and some things that were questionable, at the least. But do you have anything for this episode?
That was it, man. That's all I
Yeah,
had.
I really can't get over that weirwood scene. I'm so conflicted because it ends with Helena, and I think that's really cool
Well, and
that
that's yeah,
they
that's
go ahead and like take that route with her, and
right.
how she has that conversation, because we
Mhm.
we didn't talk about that. The conversation between her and Eamon
Right,
right after, like it goes straight from her talking to Damon to that,
right,
and how she's telling him like none of this matters. She tells him how he's going to die. She tells
right.
him that he's gonna die at the bottom of the God's eye. And yeah, it's just that part of it was so cool. But I was just so underwhelmed and kind of aggravated with Bloodraven and
Yeah, I
with
mean,
the White Walkers thing. I didn't like that
yeah,
either. I didn't like the White Walkers, and it looked so bad.
yeah.
Why did
There's a
it look so bad, Curtis?
lot of CGI, man. Bad
Why
CGI.
did that look so bad?
Um, yeah, you take away that part of it, the whole Song and Ice and Fire, and Bloodraven, the White Walkers, Daenerys, whatever, or Daenerys or whatever, and I feel like it ends up good with the part with Helena because, yeah, like you're saying, you get some foreshadowing with Haemon's death, what his story is going to look like here in the future. And I feel like, it's not told like for Damon like it is Aemon, but I feel like Damon is shown that like he's given direction. And that's really, I feel like what he's always wanted is like he wants to be working towards something that he can really see. And now
Right.
he knows that it's like she has to be the one, or she's going to be the one that's up on the throne, and you have your part in the story. You're just merely a small part in this story, and here's your path, and you're going to walk in. And he's accepted it, I think, to wherever that's going to be. If you know, you know.
Right.
So,
That has been one of my favorite parts about the entire show so far is Helena's prophecies. In
yeah,
season one, just a line or two that ended up being something so huge, or something that
right,
continued on, all the way through, or that wouldn't happen for years and years to come.
right. Yep.
So, yeah, definitely one of my favorite parts for sure.
Yeah, they've done good with her character.
I'm a little pissed I didn't get to see Daron and
I was,
the end scene there.
yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe we might get a glimpse of him at least, but
Nope.
no, didn't even see that, man. Saw his
Nope.
blue dragon.
They just made sure that you knew that was Blue Tessarion out there.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, all right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and for this whole season. Make sure to come back next week when we go through, like I said, just a look back on the season, and a look back on the chapters so far that kind of lead up to this point in Fire and Blood. Um, until next week, though, make sure you go back and check out some of our earlier episodes on Fire and Blood. We've got many about the Conquest, Magor, Jaehaerys, Ares, not Ares, not there yet. Anes.
Not there yet.
We'll get there eventually. Fire and Blood 2, maybe. Hopefully, take us all the way to Robert's Rebellion.
Mhm.
Um, Make sure to follow us on YouTube at Is Survived by Productions, and on X also at Is Survived by Productions. Make sure you check out our other shows, the Red Right Hand podcast, which covers all 6 seasons of the BBC's Peaky Blinders. And hopefully soon that movie, hopefully. hopefully soon. And also the History of the Corrs podcast and the History of the Corrs After Hours podcast, which cover different bands in different core genres. Make sure you guys like and follow, and make sure to leave us a comment, and we will see you guys next week.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.